In this video, I'm going to give you really helpful hints, tricks and tips how to interpret support and resistance and how to get on the right side of the percentage. It's going to be very, very valuable learning. This will help to boost your profitability and also your confidence while reducing anxiety. Let's get into it and let's run the numbers. In the past 24 hours, the crypto market is turning greener. The majority of liquidations have been short liquidations, which pushes the price up. In the past 24 hours, there's been 19.5 million in total liquidations, and when we look towards the past hour, we can see that the majority of liquidations have been short liquidations. This is pushing crypto up. When it comes to the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we can see that crypto is feeling a little bit more optimistic. We know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. When Bitcoin comes up, even if it's just a little bit, the alts are very happy. And look at Doge leading the race out. Ooh, just followed closely by Solana. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, Rune, Pepe, Ape, Ton, Arweave, SHIB, DYDX, Algo, and GMX. The greatest losers, top 100 past 24 hours, Bone, Curve, Maker, Nexo, Optimism, XDC, Theta, ZEC, and Stellar. In yesterday's news, Binance said it was infusing capital into Curve, but since then, Curve's price has come down. One thing that you might like to note, when you have good news in the market, often you've got negative momentum first, followed by positive momentum. One thing to note, often price comes down to attract short in. When the shorts get liquidated, they push price up. That's why you often see these down plays to attract the shorts and this big spike up that follows. It doesn't necessarily happen all the time, but it does happen more than on average. A lot of people simply look at the market like this. It's green. I'm going to buy. What's the greenest thing I can find? Oh, is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? And they hunt out the deepest green that they can lay their hands on. This is often probably not the best thing to do. Ken, how could you say that? Well, it basically comes down to the concept. When it's really green, a lot of buyers are making money already. The potential to sell gets more and more. It doesn't mean it can't go up more, but you want to find a particular crypto or a particular stock or anything you're in when it's basing before it takes off. That means you need to keep your eyes on the market. Another really helpful tip, when you see Bitcoin going green, this throws positive momentum, positive price pressure on all of the other alts. Even if they're going red, they're going less red because Bitcoin is pushing them up. Now, one thing you need to know, is Bitcoin at a smart money sell level, smart money buy level, or somewhere in between? And what is total crypto market cap doing as well? I would suggest you look at the smart money levels on these two things as an absolute minimum. There's support and resistance, and there's support and resistance. The two are very different, although they're the same words. The concept is structural resistance and structural support are very different from retail resistance and retail support. Retail support is typically drawn from recent indicative price. This is not structural. You find structural resistance and structural support through the CTKS method, which marks up all of price history. It goes right back to the start. What we can see inside Bitcoin, which is currently trading at 29,416, there is structural resistance, smart money resistance at 29,560. And there is structural support around that 29,260 mark. Keep these in mind. These two levels are very, very important to Bitcoin. When we look at Bitcoin's price action right now, we can see it's being upwardly supported. This is a low, but this is a higher low. This is also a low, but it's a higher low. So we're forming an upward channel here. That's a good thing. That says that the buyers are coming in to push price up. When we look at the highs, we can see this is a high and this is a high. That's a high, but this high is higher than that high. This is a higher high. So what do we conclude from all of this? We're making a series of higher lows and higher highs. Well, that's pretty good. Highs all around. Now, what we see here is a basing action in Bitcoin. If we start to see follow through, we would expect to challenge this really 29,560 mark. But if we lose this support, we would expect to come down to the next smart money level around that 29,260. You need to keep these dynamics in mind. Even though higher highs and higher lows are coming, it really depends on structural resistance and structural support. At the moment, we're closer to resistance than to support. That means the gravity of this line is trying to pull Bitcoin towards it. Where do you think we're going in the next 24 hours? Do you think we're coming up or do you think we're going down? In the comments, just write your choice, either up or down. And we'll check back tomorrow and see what price reality did to us. On a green day like today, or the starting point of a green day, many people will feel the compulsion to just rush in and buy. What you actually want to do is look at the structural support and resistance on Bitcoin and then look at it on total. Let's throw our X-ray vision and reveal where smart money is buying and selling. And let's do exactly the same thing that we did with Bitcoin. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think we're heading with total, either up or down? And something interesting with total is that we can see there are two levels of smart money resistance. One is down in this particular 1.145 trillion, and one is up higher at 1.153 trillion. And we can see that the lower level is much closer. What do you think could happen to total? Active learning will make a tremendous difference in your profitability. Masterclass students know that the more active learning you do, the more you actually deep dive into the crypto market and the other markets as well, because they're all interconnected and intercorrelated. One thing to note, if Bitcoin does indeed follow this particular path coming up, the alts could rally quite substantially. I'll just explain why. We've got really much heavier resistance. We could literally see, as Bitcoin comes up to this area, we could get a big rallying in the alts and they could push through higher. That is, instead of seeing total crypto market cap just come up to this area, total crypto market cap could come up to that area. And we've got fairly limited downside risk as well. This is how you want to look at Bitcoin and crypto. Go to Bitcoin first, turn on your indicator and see where the smart money is buying and selling. And if you don't have the indicator, just pop across to ctksmethod.org. Next thing that you want to look at total. Do exactly the same thing and see where the structural support and resistance levels are. What's the difference between structural and retail? It's a huge difference. You can see here that these particular lines, these resistance lines, because they're above price, resistance is always above, support is always below. When you look at a support line, it's literally acts as a safety net or a floor, and you can have a variety of different types of support levels. The same is true when it comes to resistance. They're like ceilings. They put a ceiling on price. This is a light ceiling. This is a much, much heavier ceiling. We have a rule inside the masterclass. No alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. This is a 5-second chart of Bitcoin. You can see a 5-second chart of Ethereum. Notice how Ethereum's price is matching the gravitational push of Bitcoin's price. What about BNB? It's doing the same. Don't forget, 5-second chart. Literally 5 seconds. We can see that XRP is also following Bitcoin's gravitational pull. Doge is a little bit weaker at the moment. ADA is following. Solana is following, but you can see very spiky by nature. And Tron is also following. Don't forget, only 5 seconds. Ken, what do you mean only 5 seconds? This is a 5-second chart. You can change it to a whole lot of different views. What I just showed you was gravity. Let's have a look at relativity. The two are very different from each other. We use gravity to understand if inversion is occurring. That is, inversion is the concept, is Bitcoin's price coming up, but the alt is coming down. Or the other way around, of course. When we look at relativity, we're looking at percentage returns. We can see Bitcoin is down a certain percent. Ethereum is down less of a percent. That means it's stronger. What about Binance? It's down more than Bitcoin. It's weaker. XRP is weaker. You might remember yesterday that I said Doge gets angry and wants to bolt out the front gate. And you can see that SHIB was leading the pack in front of Doge. But the concept is, and also Pepe, the meme coins tend to reverse as Bitcoin gains strength. So this is something to bear in mind. ADA and XRP tend to come on a little bit later with their reversals, but we can see ADA is quite weak at the moment. Solana is very sensitive, it's a very sensitive little thing, to Bitcoin's price gravity. And it's really good to trade as well. Tron tends to shine in the darkness, but we can see it's made its way into the top 8 and it doesn't want to leave. Looking at the EDX exchange, which is the institutional exchange, which has Gary You Can't Gain Gensler, or pretty much Gensler, stamp of approval from the SEC. And what do we see here? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash can be very interesting. It can be very, very volatile. Litecoin is sleeping at the moment. One thing, when entering any particular crypto, you want to make the percentages work for you. That's what the CTKS method is all about. For example, if we're looking at Bitcoin Cash here, and we just zoom in a little bit, pop it on log, zoom in, and just get this current price candle. And now we can zoom out, so we know we've got it. When you look at this particular return, if you wanted to make just approximately a 1% return, and just make it approximate, a little bit more doesn't hurt. You could say, okay, I could buy here and hopefully it will go up there. The other thing too, just bear in mind, if you bought down here, for example, down there, you're halfway to making a 1% return already. This is exactly why smart money buys on red. It's because they want this percentage to move in their favor. Whenever I'm trading, I look at this percent tool because I need to get an understanding of where things can go in terms of price. And sometimes you'll find, especially on the big cryptos, that you can't get that great a percent out of it. But if you multiply small percentages, you'll find that they create huge percentage gains. One thing that's really counterintuitive, you're often safest when absolute capitulation is going on. For example, when these red spikes are in the market, you're absolutely getting on the right side of the percentage. This will be the time when the majority of people have left the market, because what happens inside every financial market, people are drawn in when things are going green. When things are going green like this, people say, wow, fantastic, I have to get in, and then whack, and then whack. And they say, oh no, I got it wrong, I'll sell. Oh no, it's going up, I'll buy. Oh no, it's going down, I'll sell. Oh no, it's going up, I'll buy. And this is exactly why retail tends to buy around the tops and sell around the bottoms. And that's just with price moving in a wave. Actually, the ultimate to do is to look at where smart money is buying and selling with your indicator. And this indicator shows you structural support and structural resistance levels. What you can see is Bitcoin Cash came down to a structural support level like a safety net, got caught and flinged back up. And when you look around these different levels, you can gain a kind of an understanding as to where the structure is inside the market. I know this can be a little bit hard to see. It's kind of black on a black background, but when it's in front of you on your own screen, you can see it very well. There's a structural sell level here at 230.46, and there's one up here at 231.75. Knowing where this structure is inside the market is incredibly important, because you can already see price moves between these levels. If it hits it and it can't get up, it will come down to the next smart money level. If it goes up and it can't go further, this is called negative air, it will go back to the next one. If it weakens too much, it could well go down to the one below it. That's why if you know where the structural levels are, it's an absolute game changer. And these particular levels on Bitcoin Cash have been drawn up since 2017. This is not recent indicative price. Another thing which could really help you out, Bitcoin Cash, if you were looking at Bitcoin Cash, and if you were looking at some other crypto, it's all the same. All the cryptos gain their strength from Bitcoin, and Total does interact with Bitcoin as well. That's why you need to look at Bitcoin and you need to look at Total. If Bitcoin is rallying, Bitcoin Cash will rally. It's as simple as that. It also goes the other way, unfortunately. If Bitcoin is coming down, and I just overlaid Bitcoin, and you can see the gravitational pull here. If Bitcoin is coming down, it will drive your alt down. If Bitcoin is coming up, it will drive it up. If it's coming down, it will drive it down. And the problem is with the alts, you get a 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, even a 20-to-1 move with the alt compared to Bitcoin. So you must know what you're doing. For example, you can see here where Bitcoin sold back, Bitcoin Cash absolutely tanked, but it was caught by the smart money buy level. That's why you need to know where they are. If you don't know where they are, it's kind of just like gambling, because you don't know where the structure is. This is where smart money is looking to step in, and it does so time and time again. Time after time. Have a great weekend ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.